I'm very curious to understand a little bit about how we went from being the victims of atomic bombings to building an energy paradigm that was so based, or at least one third based in nuclear energy. Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Currently, a lot of people talk about energy transition. I think this is a very good example of energy transition because let me just give you a little bit of other background that maybe not quite exactly what you were expecting, but so as you know, a lot of the nuclear power plants, reactors were built in Fukushima, the Fukushima area. Now, why Fukushima? Well, because Fukushima was actually a very large coal mining area in Japan. And this is not something that I think most people are aware of, but Japan was a big coal mining country. Even though we always talk about Japan being, resource poor, the reality is Japan had quite a lot of coal, and started to exploit it towards the end of the 19th century. So I think you got to the point where you had about 130 coal mines in Japan, right? And that was sort of powering the economy. One of the biggest coal mines and one of the earliest coal mines was in the Fukushima area. It was called the Joban coalfield, right? And the Joban coalfield employed, I think, at some point, thousands of people. When it became clear that obviously you have the pollution from coal, but also you have the realization that, it wasn't entirely efficient. You have Japan then trying to shift from coal to oil. Again, another energy transition that spluttered because you had the situation, in World War II where Japan was cut off from oil and therefore essentially initiated its aggression. You also have the oil shock of 1973, I believe, that again made Japan say, well, wait a minute. So we could be cut off from oil. This could endanger not only our energy security, but national security. So we have to move to something else. So you have this transition from coal to oil to then let's do something new, cleaner and more secure. So that decision was nuclear. And it's really no surprise that the siting of the two nuclear power plants in Fukushima, the Daiichi and the Daini, was right on the edge of that Joban coalfield that I was talking about earlier. People lose their jobs. They're looking for some kind of replacement. What are they meant to do? Where they're supposed to go? So the vision for the person that started the nuclear projects in Fukushima was that, look, I'm bringing something that's clean and I'm bringing jobs, and I'd like to maintain Fukushima's position as the energy provider to obviously the most populous and the industrial Kanto, the Tokyo-focused zone that's just south. Okay, so nuclear came in as a replacement for a lot of coal. Today, Japan, I think there is like one or two tiny mines up in the north, but that's it. Essentially, Japan does not mine coal